Good evening, my friends. DRBMiller here. Welcome to our Destiny world. Destiny to Forsaken world this is tonight. And yet again we start late. The reason for that is this massive update that was given to us by Bungie. And I give you exactly the number of this update. Destiny 2 update number 2511. So obviously you cannot start the game or stream unless you downloaded it, and yet again it was taking forever. It did take me an hour and a half for the update to be properly downloaded and then installed, so we are running an hour and a half late due to that. This update is basically providing us with all sorts of good. We are getting many things related to clans. We are getting some added clan XP rewards, strikes launched from the director, Black Armory Forges, escalation protocol requires completion of level 7. Then we have rebalanced clan XP rewards, sandbox, we have the whole selection in there. Outbreak perfected, can no longer generate when shooting immune targets. Fixed an issue where magazine size indicators didn't display the proper arrows. Fixed an issue when the Storm's accomplice perk would not reload sidearms other than Drang or Drang, and etc. etc. In the Crucible, the issue was fixed where players could reach an advantageous autobound spot during the Crucible matches. Crown of Sorrow, another issue fixed. Menagerie, players will no longer be able to use the Chalice, etc. etc. Eververse, General, loads of different changes, but unfortunately this indeed was taking forever, so I had to be simply waiting until everything was properly installed, because guess what, without it I couldn't really do anything. I could not run my Destiny, and I can see that we have that 2511 highlighted there right at the bottom. I just want to see whether anything happens if I put my mouse on it. It tells us that there are detailed patch notes. They keep giving us these patches very frequently, so there's no way of avoiding it, and it is a bit annoying because I really wanted to start this early and end early, and you know, as you could see, I simply had to wait yet again. That is one of those things which is very unpopular with Destiny and all the other massive multiplayer online games, because at the end of the day they're all evolving and patches need to be thrown in very frequently. We did have quite a lot of glitches during the recent weeks, and I did write to Bungie also asking for some remedies. I'm not sure whether this is to do with my setup or whether it's connected to the server, but many problems, and they were primarily connected to the difficulty where you come to a certain area and there are no enemies or no foes or friends indeed on display, and I have to be starting everything from the beginning, and that's been happening quite a lot during a lot of it. So the other thing is we've seen that there is a weekly reset, Flashpoint on Iron, Crucible Playlist Mayhem, Nightfall Warden of Nothing, The Alms Dealer Will of Thousands, and also an invitation from Callus to behold a glorious gift awaits you. Visit Werner 9940 on Nessus post haste. So for everyone familiar, you'll be able to do that. And we also heard that this new update, the patch that was to resolve everything, is causing serious issues, and therefore some players cannot activate the blind well in the Dreaming City, and players cannot be revived upon death in Countdown Crucible matches following this update. So, you know, yet again you'll have to wait. If you can't be revived in the Crucible, the patch is obviously responsible for that. If you can't activate the blind well in the Dreaming City, this patch again is causing it. So I'd ask everyone to be a bit more patient and indeed make sure that everything is in order. Okay, so that is all about the updates. I'm a bit concerned that I had to be waiting for so long, and I'm not really that keen on it, as you know, but unfortunately there was absolutely no way of avoiding it, and that is that. The other thing I want to tell you is I know amongst you there are lots of film fans and TV series fans, and some people who are also dedicated to film history. I run another hub on the internet called Film Dialogue, and it's dedicated to everything film related, from the news through collection of posters and stickers to live streams. and we have a portal called Rabbit. And through Rabbit we can stream everything and anything that is accessible through our browser. So it's ideal for everyone to watch films, those which are accessible on YouTube, and particularly those that are not guarded by any copyright laws or indeed playback rules, which are present for films that are on Netflix and other kind of streaming websites. And therefore we are running, well, I'm running a season of film noir on my Film Dialogue channel, which is on Rabbit, and therefore you can watch loads of films. I have about 300 film noirs, film noir features in one of my playlists, and therefore we are going through every one of those on an everyday basis. In fact, I'm running those streams at the same time as I'm doing gaming, so anyone who gets a bit tired of games can also migrate there, have a respite, watch those films for a little while, and get a bit more knowledgeable on film history. So I think it is definitely very much of interest to all of you who are dedicated film fans, in addition to spending time on your video games. And if interested, you can also access my Film Dialogue blog. That gives you lots of articles and pointers on what you can do in order to learn. But all that's been happening since 1895, when motion pictures were indeed invented and set in motion commercially. So I should mention it every single day. Today we have a selection of films. Some of them are quite rare. We've had several films early in the day already, and I'll tell you exactly what these films were, so just bear with me. I need to get everything up and running. And dear, you know, when you want to have everything done and dusted, you want everything to work, then obviously things do not work as expected, and there are delays, and we don't want any delays here. Just bear with me, my friends. I apologize for this, but there we are. We basically already streamed 3 films earlier today: The Chase, Grand Central Murder, and there was The Green Glove. So these ones were streamed. No, actually, I'm wrong. We were not streaming those early on. I beg your pardon. It's Manhandled, Dark Mountain, and The Arnello Affair. These ones were streamed early in the day, and at the moment we are streaming The Green Glove and A Woman's Vengeance and Suddenly. So we have all 3 of those. The Green Glove, this is a film with Glenn Ford and Sir Cedric Harvick. Then we have Woman's Vengeance with Charles Boyer and Anne Blythe and Jessica Tandy. And also Suddenly is very well known for the appearance of Frank Sinatra and Sterling Hayden. For all of you who are familiar, these are some of the best heavyweights of film noir. There we are. So that's also happening at the same time. But what we are going to do today is we'll focus our attention on Destiny 2 Forsaken. I have to tell you, I've been having quite a few streams so far and thoroughly enjoyed every one of those. Last night I was joined by Flying Pirates, our friend from Las Vegas, who was indeed helping us and providing us with some very useful tips. We completed Forsaken, so we have all of those 3 DLCs fully completed. We are ready to be progressing to our seasons and do all sorts of nice things, such as Black Armory and various other quests. And that will be the next step. I think I was given some additional quests last night, and I will need to look at those. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but I got very, very tired. I went swimming, and it was extremely humid here in my area. Therefore, I simply could not focus due to that tiredness, and we sort of ended our stream in haste because I couldn't really follow any of the activities. And I felt it was a good idea just to bring it to a close at the point when I was getting a bit sleepy and indeed have to go to bed. And I find generally running 2 streams a day to be far too difficult and overtaxing on me, and I much prefer just doing 1 stream. But as you know, we can't really squeeze in 2 of those broadcasts into one, because either of the games will be suffering, and that is what I do not want to do. Also, our community members were expressly telling me they wanted Destiny 1 to be the main game, to remain here, for all of us to be watching Destiny 1 every single day, and that is the way to remain. But at the same time, we need to squeeze in Destiny 2 Forsaken and the seasons, particularly before September, and that's exactly what I've been doing. So, you know, a few hours each day, and we are progressing rapidly forward. A very, very good game, very enjoyable. I need to say to everyone who is perhaps a bit reluctant or resistant, or each one of you who already had the year 1 base game of Destiny 2, if you are playing it on complete edition, the one I've got, or if you purchase all the DLCs and annual seasons packs, then you will see and you will know that this is a completely reformed game. It feels and it plays differently to what we had initially given. It is a very, very big game with a lot of content and with a lot of activities. All of those are indeed very much present from the word go, and you will have lots of story missions, adventures, patrols, quests, sub-quests, tasks, bounties, you name it. You will never be short of action and activity, and when you go through the open world, you will be constantly intercepted by many enemies, so you'll be kept very, very busy. If it happens that there are no enemies in there, you will know that this is a glitch, and that glitch has been persisting here during my broadcast, and it was infuriating, particularly 2 days ago, where I had to be doing it about 12 or 13 times to re-enter the area where a spider was located, and we couldn't see either the spider or Petra for whatever reason, and it just kept happening again and again. So hopefully tonight we'll be spared the hassle. Hopefully the patch will resolve some of those issues, we'll have to see, but I think the patch was in fact focused on some other issues that persisted in the Crucible and PvP, from what I could gather. And if you are having some difficulties with Crucible and being revived, or indeed I did say there was another section there that didn't seem to work after the patch, you just have to be a bit patient and they will get it resolved in due course. Right, so what we'll do tonight is we'll just simply crack on. We'll go to our Warlock Human Male, and we are going to be playing it as usual. Obviously it's going to be Warlock Human Male, played by DRBMiller. My current light level is 527 and my game level is 50. Once again, anybody interested in films, you can just access film dialogue on Rabbit, and you can watch some of these films alongside. Moments of Triumph 2019. Cement your legacy. Moments of Triumph has returned to Destiny. Complete the Triumph Seal to unlock in-game and real-world rewards such as a Moments of Triumph emblem, a Moments of Triumph Sparrow, a Moments of Triumph ship, a Moments of Triumph t-shirt, a Moments of Triumph seal and title. Check the Triumphs page to begin your journey, or visit Bungie.net to learn more. So we'll need to go to the Triumphs page to start our journey. Okay. This is the ship I've been using during the last couple of days. Quite like it. We need to look at the director first, and I do remember yesterday I did not complete my admin. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go to the Traveller, and we are going to be completing all of that admin. As you could see, we have the Black Armory, which is a new quest. We need to go there and pick it up. We have an Imperial Summons. Again, this is a quest. We have a gift from Eververse for our completion of Forsaken. We need to go to Amanda. We need to go to Master Rahul, to Katie. So we have plenty to do, as you could see. So let's go to the tower, let's talk to our friends, and make sure that all the admin is fully in order. We are proceeding to our destination, so bear with us for a moment and we'll get there very, very shortly. There we are, we arrived. And therefore we'll just carry on with our task. Just bear with me, I need to double check some messages that are coming in. I want to double check. Alright, so we've come to the tower. The time is now. We are ready to do our admin, and I can see that there's nobody in there. So there's yet another glitch. I don't see any other players in there, which is ridiculous. Must be a lag or something. What else?
Yes.
So what are the messages? An encrypted missive from the Praxic Warlock Unor. This item might be safely discarded to unlock an associated lore triumph. To see the lore now, inspect the transcript and hold L2.
Done, done, done.
Connect.
Done, done, done. Check.
Looks like we have 5 messages. Okay. Wonder where that's gone. Probably to our archive. We'll go to Eververse.
Always good to see you, Guardian.
Indeed, madam. We are back and we are here to claim our gift. A gift from Eververse is a Forsaken gift. Tess expresses her gratitude with a gift from her store's inventory. So we'll select the gift. The Hunter Avenged, a reward for avenging the death of Cade, contains 3 bright engrams, a legendary ghost shell, a legendary jump ship, 10 shaders from Forsaken, 3 fire team medallions, and 10 Eververse bounty notes. So we've got all of those. We'll need to open it, I think. To look at the bounties, we can't get any of those bounties.
Thank you for shopping at Eververse.
The time now is ready for us to go to Master Hall. And therefore we are going to proceed there.
What cipher is this?
Decrypt engrams. Translation theory is another engram which we picked up, and probably quite a powerful one. Let us see.
Shall we conduct business?
Terran Wind rocket launcher.
Yes, yes, Guardian, by all means. Let's get started.
Ballyhoo. Okay, got better quality Ballyhoo. Just a minute, I just picked up this weapon. I can't see this weapon anywhere.
We live in dangerous times, Guardian. I hope you have something for me that might help you make it safer.
Yes, the ending is the translation theory, that's the one. Okay, 539.
Remain vigilant, Guardian. We may never quite be as safe as we think.
It's 511, 514, 539. 520, 526. Okay. 548. Okay, these ones are not particularly useful. Prodigal. Okay, we don't need Prodigal, that's not useful.
We end, the data ends with us. That fate is too terrible to
Thorium
comprehend.
Hold Robes. 513, 527. Don't actually need these. 527 Prodigal Steps. And this is 525. Okay. Tangled, Tangled. Doubled. Don't need 2 of these. And then we have 550. Okay, that's better. And we'll look at that 550 Scatterhorn Bond, what it does. So let me see. Shotgun reserves and scout. Nah, they're
Yes,
not really
yes,
ideal
Guardian,
for me
by all
because I don't really
means.
use
Let's get
shotguns or scout rifles. Recuperation, replenish health each time you pick up an orb. Bet already. Okay, so these are not too bad perks. Tangled Rust. And we can just pick up Hacky, Distant Earth. Alright, so that's all done and dusted. I think I need to probably purchase some extra shaders because I'm running low on those.
We live in dangerous times, Guardian. I hope you have something for me that might help you make it safer.
Playing the odds. This emblem tracks lifetime Gambit infamy rank resets. Okay, fine.
The world's changing, Guardian. You must prepare and adapt.
Put that Forsaken on. For the time being, we can switch. So, because some of the emblems also have trackers, so the ones with trackers are best equipped, best used. But we need to see the inventory, and with those consumables, we have what is this message from?
We live in dangerous times, Guardian.
Details.
I hope you have something for me that might help you make it safer.
An encrypted missive from the Praxis. The item may be safely discarded to unlock an associated law trap. To see the law now, inspect the transcript and hold L2. Cormorant level encrypted message follows audio unavailable. My name is Yuno. I serve the Hidden and the Warlock Praxic Order. You and I have never met, but I hold you in high regard. You accomplished wonders. Okay. No. You accomplished wonders for this city, and humanity owes you a debt it cannot repay, a marvel for one so young. But in true Guardian fashion, nothing you did for the city came from generosity. I think you want what everyone with power wants. No, the man called Drifter knows this. That man has done what past influences could not: manipulate Guardians into dabbling with the dark, and yet the Vanguard stands by in silence. Commander Zavala and Ikora Ray know who he is and everything he stands for. They still let him bring his gambit into the system. What's more, they have forbidden the Praxis Order from interfering. It's against anything in the Praxic stand for. We will not abide it, and we are looking into his activities, building a case against him even the Vanguard can't ignore. Do me a favor, from one Guardian of this city to another. You're free to keep your business with him, just give me the chance to convince you the Drifters not to be trusted. Okay, so
the
that's
world's
very important
changing,
message.
Guardian. You must prepare
But
and
I
adapt.
don't want to be standing in there because he keeps talking and I can't really read in peace. Okay, so back to consumables. So we've heard that we were being asked not to trust the Drifter. Okay, so look at the details. Open another message. Since its inception,
Of the numerous sub-basement levels, only 4 have been cleaned and certified safe for use.
Since its inception, the Vanguard has served as the city's greatest deterrent against total annihilation of humankind, and for an age, it succeeded without question. But today's Vanguard has never faced a threat like the Drifter. This man with no name and no verified history in the city's files has brought an ideological war to our doorstep. He's a greater threat than any hive god or vex mine, because I can't walk down to the annex with a shotgun and end him. The Vanguard will not allow it. They see a rogue element they can control. I see a criminal in a place of power. The Praxic Order has been surveying Vanguard activities. Guardians like you are abandoning frontline duties so they can run rampant in the Drifter's gambit. Every mite of dark they drop in his hands means another moment that the precausal phenomenon in the Dreaming City is left unchecked, that our enemies in dead zones across the Earth push our borders. In the absence of light, even the Hellmouth on the moon's stirring. This simply cannot last. Ontological and genocidal threats aside, Gambit encourages the use of darkness to fight darkness and other guardians. Since the city's foundation, the Praxic Order has existed to keep darkness and other banned assets out of the hands of the city guardians. Despite our best efforts, pieces like Red Death, Crimson, and certain weapons of sorrow continue to find their way into city arsenals. But even guardian killers like those are nothing compared to the ideological threat of Gambit. Gambit leads to darkness, and darkness is the hive on the moon, tearing our kind to pieces in the Great Disaster. The darkness is the Red War and Towerfall, when the Cabal silenced the Traveler and killed thousands of the last humans on Earth in a single day. The darkness in the Vex, erasing our allies from existence, from memory itself. The darkness is one man with the power to deal with death in his fist. The darkness was the collapse of the Golden Age. The darkness is peace by annihilation in myriad ways. As a sword of the Praxic Order, it is my duty to seek out those who would consort with or study the darkness as a religious or precausal entity. Participating in Gambit is problematic, but Guardians will go where the guns are. If the Order wants to win this, the Drifter must fall. If I can get solid evidence that this individual is causing demonstrable harm, the Praxic Order will descend on him like a second son. I know the Drifter has your ear, but consider this. There's more to being a guardian of the city than power. Okay, so we've seen 2 messages. Let's see what the third message is. Warning us all about a Drifter. The transcript's been bundled alongside the shattered remains of a ghost. This ghost belonged to a Renade Guardian, recently deceased in a shootout with Praxic elements in the city. His Guardian, an equally dead Titan, went by another title, Dredgen. This pair were ideologically followers of Dredgen Yor. No reason for veterans of the Red War to brush up on late Dark Age history, so in case you haven't heard, Yor was amongst the first of our kind to kill another with the heretical use of darkness. Even a Guardian can't come back from that. All those who used his names in recent history belong to an outlaw group called the Shadows of Yor. No 2 of them can agree on Yor's true ideology, but all strive to consort with the darkness for power. According to the testimony of his former fireteams, Drifter was one of them, and he still might be. The group has not made an appearance in a long time, and there are rumors of few Dredgens taking up the mantle at the behest of the Drifter, or relatively young Guardians, the old Russian cohort of the Red War, not the old blood of the original group. You might be one of them, or soon could be. Just know that I confirm some, perhaps all, of the old blood are back in town. The ghost you hold in your hand belonged to one of them, and I should not be surprised if the Renade who hunts the shadows, the hunter who forged the golden gun itself, was close behind. I don't know why shadows have returned, but there are possibilities. The Drifter's chagrin, I'm sure, is no secret. City Guardians are playing with darkness in the form of Gambit. Maybe the shadows want to actively recruit. They've tried and failed in the past to put the use of darkness into Guardian arsenals. But the Drifter and the shadows could be at odds. The man is a loner and a cheat, building as many bridges as he burns in the Guardian community. He has true allegiance to nothing and no one but himself. It's possible he's gathering Gambit regulars to defend and help the ally, the Drifter, with the operational Gambit or some new unknown goal. I share all of this with you for hoping for your confidence. The Drifter is not to be trusted. Involve yourself with him and the Dredgens at your own risk. Even if you carry the name, it's not too late to make the right choice. Don't end up like the ghost in your hand. He did not die well. So that was the third message. We have Draven in here and aids the Wades. Hello AIDS, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining our community and watching our broadcast. And AIDS is asking whether I remember him. Of course I do. I do remember you. Welcome back. Draven is here saying hello, and I'm saying hello to Draven. Good to see you guys. And we have another message from, I'm not sure whether it's Yuno or Ono. We'll have to see. The Drifters playing you, Gambit Prime, isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's an experiment.
Please step clear, Guardian.
And he's luring all of you from the tower as test rats. Until today, the heads of my order believed the Drifter was attempting to craft the Throne World, much like the scorned Baron Hyrax did. After the death of the Hunter Vanguard, it surprised me, but we find no evidence in or around the city that the Drifter ever actually killed anyone. That there could be a mass grave aboard that destitute thing he calls a ship. Your excursion today corroborated the stories of multiple Guardians still loyal to the Vanguard. The Drifter's fall originates from the clandestine power known only as the Nine.
Just gonna take a minute.
Zer, the agent of the Nine, remember that? The Warlock orders have only trivial information on these beings, but it would seem the Drifter has been networking beyond forces of light and dark. Before him, the Awoken Queen was their only known associate. As of this moment, I hope I can trust you to keep your eyes open and your reports honest. As one of Drifter's Gambit Prime candidates, you are amongst the first Guardians to see what that individual is doing. You are the Vanguard's eyes and ears in this. I hope you do right by them. That's the message number 4. We collected 5 messages, so let's see. The 5th message is here, the last message. The Vanguard Casualty Report, part is 2, 1 Guardian Type Class Titan, Guardian Type Class Warlock, Associations Emerald Coast, Cathedral of Scars, Legion's Folly, Kel's Grave, the Drifter Gambit. What do you have? Our side's the only one watching up here. 3 Guardian Fatalities, 2 Guardian Fatalities, 1 Guardian Fatality, 3 Guardian Fatalities, I know. So there's a distortion in the feed from light-based radiation. You missed and you ruined my wall. If I wanted to hit you, you'd look like the wall. What happened to the stepping on him? The second something went wrong. Those Guardians knew the risks. We take them every time we raid the outer edges on a run strike. Gambit's the same. Those were not Thorn incidents in each case. Non-Guardian hostilities caught the Ghost unprepared. The Crucibles, for them as much as us. He doesn't watch those arenas like you do. He's reckless. We need him. It's working. If we lose another Guardian, he's out. Did you forget how many of us died during that first night of war? Buried all the ones I could find before the dawn. How about we stop burying Guardians altogether? Or I'll kill him and his ghost myself. So it's the end of that transcript. I stole that transcript myself. Thought you should see it. Your friends are dying on the Drifter's watch. How long before it is you? The Order is in a state of paralysis. Half of us want to restrain the ghosts of the Vanguard and the Drifter all at once, and have them face practical justice. But that would shatter the peace in the city irreparably. Meanwhile, the shadows of Yor continue to have a presence in the city, and no golden gun in sight to contain them. The man must be busy. It seems the fate of this town rests on your shoulders once again. The choices you made in the coming weeks could affect more lives than any bullet you ever fired. Consider that, and consider this. The Drifter is polluting minds, driving Guardians away from what he nebulously calls the Traveler's Dogma. He's turned a lot of minds onto the idea that darkness is a tool worth using. The city was built on the foundation of fighting the darkness and everything it stands for. The erasure of order, individual empowerment over the commons good. The Hive and the Taken live to serve the gods. The Traveler empowers humanity to live. He says otherwise, but the Drifter is not above systems. The armor he's offering you in so-called reckoning represents a choice in a system of his making. He's just here to disrupt the natural order for personal gain, and he doesn't care who dies for it. The Vanguard is relying on you more than ever. Against the Drifter, against themselves, you'll know what to do. I have the Dredgens to hunt.
Only 4 have been cleaned and certified safe for use.
So quite frankly, I'm a bit sort of mystified by those messages, because they're telling us that the darkness is closer to us than what we expected. And I wonder whether this has been thrown in since they decided to release Shadowkeep on the 17th of September, because really it's triggering off suspicion about the Drifter and all he does here. So it is a bit peculiar. I've read all the messages, we're all very clear about all that. Aids the Wades says my PlayStation 4 is broken and I almost got to level 44 on Destiny. Well, it's gonna get fixed and you will get to the level 50, so you needn't worry. Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 are lengthy grinds and there are many tasks that have to be completed, so you know you're not missing out on anything. And it's always very good to have a short break, you know, and then you can come back and enjoy the game, so that certainly is a very good idea once your PlayStation 4 is fixed. Right, we read the messages, so we need to open this reward, a reward for avenging the death of Kate, the Hunter Avenged. We got that from Tess Severus. It contains 3 bright engrams, a legendary ghost shell, the legendary jump ship, 10 shaders from Forsaken, 3 fighting medallions, and 10 Eververse bounty knights. So we got loads of engrams, that's really good. Let's see, mod components we have, and AIDS is saying that he's got to go, wishing us all a good night. Good night, Wades, thank you for coming and thank you for watching our broadcast. And let's see, Rainmaker.
Only 4 have been cleaned and certified safe for use.
That. And then Draven says, when my mate game shared Rise of Iron with me, I got Forsaken as well.
Of the numerous sub-basement levels, only 4 have been cleaned and certified safe for use.
I didn't really quite follow you, because Rise of Iron is in Destiny 1, right? And Forsaken is in Destiny 2. How did it work? Perhaps you could tell us. And let me see, what else have we got? Finest Matter Wave. Masterwork Rhinos are finding scraps of lucky dismantled. Defeated bosses have a chance of dropping in. Oh, I see. Right, so this is a bit like our 3 of coins. The finest matter wave. So that is to be used before we attack bosses.
Ready for reassignment.
And the effects last until an enhancement core is found. No, we can try it as well. Fighting medallion. The strongest guardians are those who stand together. Increased XP gains and loot for you and members of your fire team. Match from strikes, public events. Okay, we'll take one of those as well. We use everything, right? We'll try it all, because previously we didn't have that many consumables we could use, but these ones indeed are beneficial. Okay, we've got 10 Eververse bounty notes, so I should be able to exchange that for some bounties. Okay, so that's all been done and dusted. Mods, we have some new mods in here. Wrath Majestic Weapon Ornament. Equip this weapon ornament to the change appearance of your Arsenic Bite. Okay, so we can use that straight away. We'll use that on our Arsenic Bite. And is there another one? There isn't really. Shaders. Well, we got lots of shaders, so that's fine. So what we'll do is we'll go... Oh, no, that's wrong. We'll go to our inventory. It's the other way. And then... let me see. No, sorry. We need to go to the character. We need to find this note turning back. In here we have arsenic. As you could see, this is arsenic. And then we can use... let's see, default ornament. Yep, that's right. Default ornament. Apply. So we apply this ornament, so our arsenic looks somewhat different, right? Yeah, that was our weapons ornament, and we equipped fiberglass arrow shaft, heavy and consistent, greatly increases accuracy. And in here we have high tension string, tightly strung bow, greatly increases accuracy. And then here we have moving target. And we have explosive head, so that's quite good. We'll try it again in some of our patrols. Alright, so let's have a look at any other inventory we picked up. Another ghost. We have another ghost. Blue sky shell. The one I've got at the moment is open orchid shell.
Sub-basement levels, only 4 have been cleaned and certified safe for use.
Have a space and scanner. We'll keep it on for the time being. Got another ship, beautiful gravities, beautiful, oh beautiful gravities, look at that. Let's see that again, beautiful gravities, corrupt ether, transmit effect, guardian gold. Lots of different transmit effects, we can really play with that, but that's not really necessary right now. Draven says when we were on Destiny 1, he game shared Rise of Iron, but he has all the DLC on both Destiny, so he gave me Forsaken and Rise of Iron. Alright, understand. You game shared and therefore you'll be able to play some of this. I always recommend the Complete Edition to everyone, and Complete Edition has all the content. Anybody who is purchasing anything which is short of Complete Edition will not get the annual seasons, and if you don't have annual seasons you won't be able to progress. So you know, it is a bit of a catch-22 here in this game, and one has to be getting the latest content in order to move forward, and just no way around to that. And I was waiting for that price to drop for me to get it on the best possible offer, and that was for $34.99, the best offer on Destiny Forsaken Complete Edition ever, and obviously bought it immediately as soon as it was offered on the first day of E3. So I recommend that to everyone. If you do not have the Complete Edition, absolutely purchase it right now for $34.99 and you will not regret it. The content is incredible and the size is obviously massive. You get everything that's ever been released on Destiny 2, and it will continue to be so until September, so your seasons and everything else are included. Okay, so I've done this. My admin has been resolved. Looks like we've got more to collect from Postmaster and from Perseverus, and I'm not sure why. Translation theory. Okay. No space. 518 sniper rifle. The cut and run, Vestian Dynasty, Misfit, Drang.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. What we'll do is we'll go to the vault, stash some of our weapons there. We need to have plenty of space for everything. Okay, so let's see. We've got some other weapons that are not that powerful. Cut and run we don't need. Western Dynasty we don't need. Misfit we do need. Sniper rifle, risk on a submachine gun we'll put in there. LG 509. Just a moment. Oh no, it's just gone up. Alright, so I'm clear about this. Rocket launcher 518. We don't really want that at all, I don't think. And then we've got rocket launcher 511. Linear fusion rifle 514. Edge transit, grenade launcher. This is rocket launcher, grenade launcher. It's just one that I got left. 511. Alright, we'll keep that there. Still have plenty of space. Alright. Nope. Got 2 of these. I'll just take 1 of those. Alright, so that's all sorted. Placed everything in the vault. Should be able to pick up that new weapon. It's the weapon that Master Rahul was giving us, and I looked for it and I couldn't find it. 557. So we'll equip that one straight away. And that is our sidearm. 557. And that's instead of 539. So obviously 539 will be turned into armor materials. 543 we have now as our light level. We need to get to 750, so still quite a long way to go. And the next thing I need to do is pick up this bounty from Tess Everest.
All goods for trade. Take a look.
Crypt engrams, emotes, shaders emotes, and access to the bounties. What's this? A vehicle. Okay. Looks like I can pick up all these.
Always a
bounties.
pleasure.
That's really good. Pick them up. We want to have as many bounties as possible from Tess. And we need to see what has been given. Emotes. Generally, I'm not that keen on too many.
Don't
of
know
those.
where my
Just
uncle finds these
City
things.
Dance. Dance hall.
Need some new moves, Guardian? Maybe a new look?
Sit. Okay, this one we could probably swap.
We drove the Red Legion out. We'll do the same to whomever comes next.
So that's been sorted. And then there was this vehicle in there. Fragogenium. The one I've got at the moment is Alton's Ambush, and I quite like it. It looks very good. And Alton's Ambush has a couple of perks. Autoloader, automatically reloads your weapons when you board the vehicle. And then improved propulsion unit that has received some specialist tuning. Okay. And in here we could probably go to our... Just a minute. I think this one I quite like.
A5530 CTX to the Autumn Gate. HB30 to cover
That was pretty
CMT7's
good.
route.
Awesome. So that's been sorted, and then I need to go to my collections, and then I need to go to Flare, need to go to
Need some new
Shaders,
moves, Guardian? Maybe a new look?
and then we need to find that antique. Where is it?
Don't know where my uncle finds these things.
Gone wrong. Atlantis Wash. Lots of glimmer, So
As long as you
this
like.
is, you know,
I can wait.
as many of those as possible. Down to 90,000 maybe.
Bad rattling this one.
Okay, that should be plenty for
It's
now.
easy math, Guardian. You got the silver, Eververse has the goods.
Fine, we've got all of these, and we need to focus on our other characters, everyone else that we need to speak to. Well, first of all, I'll go to Zavala and collect all the bounties. You know, I usually collect as many bounties as possible, and then as we carry on with our action, we just get them filled.
Greetings. Very good.
Okay.
Let's get you back out there.
Picking up a few more from our friend Banshee. Oh, we got plenty of reputation, so...
Good eye. Keep it loaded.
Who else wants to talk to us?
Let's talk.
Oh yes, we need to go and inspect
Magazine.
we need to go and speak to her. Pick this up. Ikora will have this sort of weekly challenge for us. Because today was the reset day. Actually, I want to be doing this in a different position, so please bear with me. I'll have to take a very short break. I will be back literally in 30 seconds, so bear with us. We'll carry on with our adventure in about, well, just under a minute.
Okay, wait. What? What about that? Oh. I knew it! Alright, check this out. I don't know who's in. Oh. Come take a look. What about that one? Come take a look.
That's it. Beach.
That one looks
There we are, my friends, I'm back. And we are going to be having a look at all that Ikora has here for us.
What do you seek?
I'd like to discern some kind of cosmic meaning in this. Sometimes there are no answers.
Just a moment, I'm not sure what this would be. Oh, I see, and we need to complete 20 bounties. 20 bounties, which is a weekly task.
I know you are capable.
Okay. Imperial summons.
I don't know if I
Benedict 9940, Emperor's Advocate.
I am here for maintenance.
Finally found you. You're a busy little light. Do you recognize me? It's your beloved Emperor Callus. I've been watching you. All your good work. I believe you're ready. It's time you and I met more intimately. I've sent a gift to Nessus for you. I'll see you soon, oh champion mine.
An Imperial summons. As Benedict's call processors seem to hitch and jitter, a commanding presence overtakes the poor frame. A different voice booms through Benedict's speakers. Emperor Callus, the hedonistic ruler of the Leviathan, has been watching you for some time. He invites you to Nessus, offering riches. Nothing suspicious about that. So let's pick this up. Looks like a quest. Emperor Callus has invited you to Nessus, but you think it was wise to drop in with Ikora before you go. Quest step.
Ready for
Talk
reassignment.
to him, but we do have the Black Armory as well. Plenty to do, my goodness.
Ready
Can't go
for
through that.
reassignment.
Into that side. Locate the entrance to the Black Armory. Take out the Black Armory badge. cutscene.
Stunning, isn't it? That weapon is beyond special. A witness to the slaughter of our founder. And my ally in vengeance against those responsible. Light bearers. Just like you. You are not welcome here, Guardian. I see. Well then, what we offer, Guardian, is privilege. Normally afforded to those who do not already have their own. Today, however, it would seem our doors are open to you. Welcome to the Black Armory.
Welcome to the Black Armory. Meet Ada in the tower. Okay.
Lured them into a false sense of security.
It's loading for a while. Okay, new quest activity available. To talk to Ada. Yeah, that's right. It's the new area allocated in there as we got in. Okie dokie. Can we take a nice screenshot of this? Looking really pretty.
There is much to see. Come take a look.
So we'll approach Ada.
Our wares seduce you, Guardian. However, none can currently be sold. The Red War left us without a vital necessity, our forge. In its absence, our operation has all but ceased. We have found no success in locating it despite our best efforts. If you truly covet our wares, then understand, we would very much like our forge back. And Guardian, If you would return empty-handed, you'd best not return at all.
The Black Armory. Due to the Red War, the Black Armory lost access to its forge in the European Dead Zone. Since then, Ada-1 has been unable to locate it herself. Though she continues to distrust Guardians, Ada-1 hands you a weapon frame in case you manage to locate the Volanda Forge. With this frame, you will eventually be able to craft a Black Armory weapon, but first you must calibrate it and bring it back to Ada. Follow the steps to calibrate the weapon frame. Alright, so let's see what that is. Basic machine gun frame, weapon core obtained, and compound ether collected. Yeah, so that's similar to what we've had with exotic weapons. It's a lengthy grind by the looks of it. An uncalibrated weapon frame obtained from Ada-1. It is missing a charged weapon core. Recover a weapon core from a stolen Black Armory crate in the outskirts or the gulch of the EDZ, European Dead Zone. Obtain compound ether from the Fallen to charge the weapon core. So, yeah, you know, the directions are there, properly described. We'll acquire that. So that is going to be the next step. Forge the weapon, complete the machine gun frame, and forge it in the Volanda Forge of European Dead Zone. Daily and weekly bounties requires access to the forge. Okay. So we need to get access to the forge first, and then we are going to be able to pick up these bounties.
See you next time, perhaps.
Indeed, madam. I will be back after another terrifying battle. Fear God, honor the king. Alright, so it's Black Armory. We access this area. So if we were to look at the quests, the Black Armory, complete the machine gun frame and forge it in the Volanda Forge in European Dead Zone. New pass, follow your visions to Io. Repair the award. Okay. Annex the last city, that was the Drifter. Mutation. We'll go to Ikora.
Quickly, friend.
Daddy Leviathan has deployed some kind of barge to the surface of Nessus. She sizes you up. If you want to investigate this on your own, I have no issue with that, but you're not going alone. Let me patch you the coordinates of the barge. I'll send other guardians after you. So we'll accept that. Power Surge package. The invitation. Rebuke. Encore. And we have outages on PS Network. That is ridiculous. And I have to be restarting my broadcast. I apologize for that, there's nothing I can do. As you could see, outages on PlayStation Network. We have no picture, so I need to restart my broadcast, I would like to ask you to remain here with me on my channel. I will be back as quickly as possible. Hopefully we'll be able to get access, but as you could see, the outages on PlayStation Network, when they do happen, we lose picture, we just keep the sound, and therefore we have to restart the whole thing. So I have to restart my broadcast. I'll be back literally in a moment, so stay with us, and I'll be back in less than a minute.